What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having the most jam-packed month so far, or getting ready to have one there, Scorpio. We're getting ready to be on an intuitive time here. But for those of you who are returning, oh, welcome back, Soldier. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Scorpio, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Harry Stephen's brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. All right, Scorpio, before we get into... Actually, let me tell you why I'm so excited, Scorpio, because it is Celestial News Monthly. Greatest time of the month there, Scorpio. Are you excited? And Scorpio, just to get a little housekeeping out the way, this could be a great time for you to book a reading with me, because I am now open for personal readings there, Scorpio. So if you want to know how these transiting planets are affecting you on a personal level, not just your general horoscope, or just for like, oh, all Scorpios are going to be going through this, and then that'd be something. This is very detailed, geared to your specific chart there, Scorpio. Or we can look into your natal chart and see how you can embody your energies a little more differently, work more intentionally with what these gifts that you've been given. I tell you what, I've been really kind of walking in this Leo energy that I've been giving here as of late, and it's been very interesting there, Scorpio. It's been leading to the flow's been feeling nicer, so that's something you've been thinking about. Or if you just want to book a tarot card reading with me there, Scorpio, I have links down in the description box with all the various services that I provide there. So feel free to check that out, or they're in the links in my bio on Instagram. So I trust you on the internet there, Scorpio. You'll find it. But yes, definitely check that out. And keep in mind, Scorpio, I would never reach out to you for readings there, because scammers are about, it'll be you setting up these appointments, and we'll already have had an open communication by then, Scorpio. So just keep that in mind. Now, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies there, Scorpio. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Scorpio, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, oh, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Scorpio. Now, I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with the signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Scorpio, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below there's Scorpio, some links for some other readers that I like watching there. Go show them some love. They're a really great supportive group there. So yeah, go, yeah. Go Scorpio. There's not linking around here for that. But yeah, go check them out. Also, there's a link for an astrologer that I like listening to as well. She's very intuitive about how she approaches the energies. I really love that. There's a link for a couple of podcasts that I've been listening to. Actually, one of them's a Scorpio. And actually, there's a reader that's a Scorpio. There's Scorpio, so look at all this support. And then there's some apps that I enjoy working with as well. There's Scorpion, since we're going to be in collaboration soon. It might be nice to have that little tool in your tool belt. But before we get into this massive shindig that Pisces is throwing here, they invited everybody. There are a couple of aspects that I wanted to talk about that are going to be coming up here soon, Scorpio, that may really kind of affect us there. And this is something I'm going to really start doing more of, because with how the readings and schedules are going there, Scorpio, I may need to reduce my time here to just the monthly ones and the yearly ones on this video. You're the first one I'm making this sort of announcement to. But with where things are at, where things are going there, I'm still going to try to include some information, maybe some shorter collective videos, maybe about certain aspects that are going through or certain energy that's getting ready to happen, that's going to cross over. So stay tuned for that there, Scorpio. I may just kind of switch this dynamic up just a little bit, but yeah, I'm still kind of playing around with that idea. But let's talk about these aspects that are forming, because we have Chiron that's going to be conjunct the North Node in Aries, and it's going to be exact at 16 degrees on the 19th of February. And this is a very interesting one there, Scorpio, because I do feel like this is collectively kind of asking, you know, this speaks to really kind of a profound kind of journey in healing and growth through addressing like deep-seated wounds to the identity, whether this be where we might be feeling like overly aggressive, or where there has been this doubt as far as like maybe expressing our individuality, or however this may be looking like. In Scorpio, your energy is one that I feel goes through maybe some more intense experiences than others in order to provide this level of profound healing to, because Scorpio is a very shamanistic, deep, intuitive energy. And I feel like this can be one where if you get it down to maybe some of the core energies of, or the core kind of roots of what has maybe injured your pride, or maybe has affected your self-image, or has affected your confidence, wherever that's looking like there for you, meeting that energy with compassion, meeting yourself where you're at, and with grace, that you've come across so far on your journey, and then think about what steps you can take going forward, what that looks like, how we may have, because when you think about the North Node, you have to consider where the South Node's at as well, which is in Libra. And it's just like, how have we been maybe giving our power to others in a sense? Where have we let relationships give ourselves control? We lost that autonomy. There hasn't been that healthy blend of balance there, Scorpio. So, but this is going to be an interesting one. But again, a very healing one as well there, Scorpio. And if you have any kind of cardinal points at around 16 degrees, is actually kind of close to my sun sign, but if you have any like kind of cardinal points at that energy, whether that be Aries, Libra, or even Cancer, or in Capricorn, then that may be something where you're feeling a little bit more sensitively there, Scorpio. So just something to keep in mind of. But then also, you have and any sort of like fire placements that you have as well there. So even the air signs, there can be, it just depends on what your placements are looking like, and seeing where you have 16 degrees of Aries and where that focus may be coming up there. Mine's happening in the 9th house, so this can be interpreted as, thinking about what do I believe in, or where can I maybe include maybe more travel and maybe this could be where travel could be something that could heal something within me, learning a different perspective about some things, just kind of expanding in that type of sense. That can be how one interpretation of these energies could be there, Scorpio. But then you have this really big party that's happening, because the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn are all going to be conjunct in Pisces on the 28th of February at 9 degrees. And so if you have any points around that, especially any sort of Scorpio placements, this is going to be an interesting one that forms a trine. So this is going to be a very fast moving energy for you, or a very easy flowing energy for you in here, because trines remove blockages, which we're going to talk about in Pisces in a little bit. But with this conjunction that's happening with all three of these planets here, this represents a powerful time for deep introspection, spiritual growth, and just like serious reflection on one's life path and purpose. You're thinking about the sun, that who we are, this I am energy. And then you have Mercury, the way we think, we communicate, the way we process our immediate environment, understanding ourselves. I feel like on this really kind of deep intuitive level, with all this energy happening in Pisces, and taking these images of ourselves, these ideas, these thoughts, and things that we may have talked about with others, and starting to ground that, to give that energy form. Where are you going from here? A lot of healing energies, and I feel like a lot of magician work that can really be happening there. You really kind of forming this newer image of yourself there. But, you know, this is a time really for it can be for like discipline, creativity, for serious reflection on any sort of like emotional intuitive insights, and really just offers the potential for significant personal and collective growth towards understanding ourselves and treating ourselves with, and not just ourselves with compassion, but others as well, because as we, I feel, begin to meet ourselves deeper, so there, Scorpio, we can meet others with that same type of depth as well, knowing the work that it takes to get to where you are, and for them as well, and how that energy can look and translate differently on everyone. So just some energies to think about with all the stuff going on here. But now let's talk about this big old party that's getting ready to do, that Pisces getting ready to throw down, because all the invites were sent telepathically. There's Scorpio, but you have the Sun that's getting ready to enter into there's to Pisces. Mercury is about to enter in Pisces. The lovely Empress Venus is going to enter into Pisces, and then you have Neptune and Saturn that already been chilling there, finishing up their last cycle through the zodiacal wheel before they start over in Aries. So it's very interesting what's going on here. But let's start with the Sun there, Scorpio, because the Sun is going to be entering into Pisces on the 18th of February at about 11:13 p.m. and that'll be yes, when I still make this, it'll be Eastern time. So that'll be Eastern time there, Scorpio. Everything else from here on out will be Pacific time. But it will be there through the 19th of March. Now, the Sun in Pisces marks the end of the, like I was saying, the zodiacal kind of astrological year. And this really is a great period for reflection over this past year and getting in preparation for the new cycle that begins in Aries. This is the season where, this little segment is Capricorn season, the winter section, depending on where you're at in the world. And this is where we're making space, where things are dying out and clearing out in a sense, and what are we going to fill this, how are we going to fill this space with new growth when we get into that springtime type of energy. And so this transit can be seen as a time for healing and of release, forgiving any sort of shortcomings that may have happened in your growth there, Scorpio, whether that be on your side or on someone else's side. And how we can, again, learn to let this go. It's an opportunity to release any sort of past hurts, to exercise this forgiveness, and to find closure. So that we can start off on a fresh foot. I'm picturing, like a Six of Swords type of energy. And this is a time when the collective focus kind of turns towards more of this emotional depth, this spirituality, this introspection. Intuition is more heightened during this time. And one thing to be mindful of, Scorpio, is that one of the challenges with this Pisces energy is a tendency towards escapism, because with all of the harshities that are going around, and all of us being sensitive to the energies, but you being, having that water energy in your chart are very susceptible to what's going around you, and you do feel it on a very deep level there, Scorpio. So just something that, thinking about where we may have kind of been hiding from realities in a sense. Now, Mercury is going to be busy in Pisces season. And I'll talk about, he's going to be going, or they're going to be going from Pisces into Aries here, and I'll talk about Aries energy on the next one. But Mercury's going to enter in, I kind of made a little boo-boo there with the Leos and Cancers, but it's fine, we're just not going to talk about it. But for you, Mercury is going to enter into Pisces on the 23rd of February at about 2:29 a.m. and will be there through the 9th of March. Now, I love when Mercury is in water signs, because this really enhances intuitive and creative thinking. I feel like this gives Mercury a chance to kind of relax a little bit, to still have that analytical mind, but it's more open to more sort of that sort of subconscious kind of nebulous energies that you get when they're either in your sign, Cancer or Pisces. And this makes the mind become just more imaginative and more dreamy under this influence. and really excellent for creative endeavors. But you may find like things that require a little more logic and a little more precision with a little more difficulty, because you're more kind of feeling in this sort of fanciful, intuitive, dreamy type of world that Pisces tends to live in. Because I'll tell you, if you happen to have any Pisces placements or 12th house placements, that does can 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 equate to a very vivid imagination. I have a few. I have actually my Mercury's in the 12th house, but this too, like I was saying, the boundary between the consciousness and the subconscious become a little more porous. So it's an excellent time for introspection and understanding one's deeper kind of psychological patterns there, Scorpion. I feel like that could be very beneficial for you, seeing where things have any blockages that may come up for you, because I feel of the zodiac signs, Scorpio can really deep. You bring things up from the surface, so utilize for this to your advantage to help heal yourself and maybe any sort of relationships that we have with some others there, Scorpio. That's even something to think about. And then, speaking of relationships, Venus. I love Venus in Pisces, because you have Venus that's going to be entering there on the 11th of March, and that'll be about 5:50 p.m. And she'll be there through the 5th of April. Now, the reason this is such a lovely energy for Venus to be in as well, because Venus is exalted in Pisces. So outside of Libra and Taurus, the signs which she rules and is the strongest in, this would be the next energy that she does very well in, or that she excels. And this is a very, very loving placement for the Empress to be. You talk about compassion and unconditional love. This is Venus in Pisces. You know, I remember talking with someone who has Venus in Pisces, and they were talking about their child. And it's like, of course, people love their child very deeply. I've met two people that have this Venus in Pisces, and they love their. One was just like, I have so much love for my child that I really have to be in this place where I be very cold with people, because I can love so deeply. And you know, relationships under this energy is, I'm getting off track. I do love this energy, but relationships take on a more compassionate and tender quality. You know, with a more focus on, this is a great energy to connect. I feel that this is where all the water signs kind of, there's this energy of being able to meet others on this spiritual and kind of emotional connection there, Scorpio. I feel that this could be a very beautiful time for those who you really trust to, you know, to have that, display that level of intimacy, kind of go there on this, kind of take things to this next level, maybe talk about, feel relaxed to be yourself there. And also creativity is just heightened there, Scorpio, particularly in areas where you can merge your emotions with this, when you're like spirituality with art, whether this be through poetry, whether this be through crafting, through music, whatever it is that you're doing there, Scorpio, through this, you know, however this is looking, I feel this is a great energy for you. But one thing to be mindful of is that there is a willingness to be a little more sacrificing and put others' needs before your own there, Scorpio. So that's just something you want to keep in mind of with this energy. Then a couple more things, Scorpio. So Saturn, and this is going to be the longest one because Pisces really meant it. Now Saturn is going to be in Pisces until the 24th of May 2025, and he'll be going retrograde. Yeah, I'll start including the retrograde too. So we'll kind of can look out for a Saturn retrograde here around the 29th of June. So, but this is a very interesting energy for Saturn, I feel like, to be in, because Pisces again is that like nebulous energy, that really kind of larger than life, that formlessness. And now Saturn wants us to be able to take that in, because Saturn is structure. He's foundation. He's what you build into existence. And I feel like he's the discipline as well. So I feel like this is where spirituality takes a more disciplined approach, where kind of like mystical and tangible experiences, indulging in more intuitive actions there, maybe making more time to cook, or maybe making more time to do like this because even it's not necessarily, when we think meditation, it doesn't have to be just this sitting and breathing energy. This could be in caring for someone, being of service. This could be going out for a mindful walk. This could be gardening. Whatever this is looking like there, Scorpio. This could even be your first ritual, starting off with your first beverage, whether that be tea, coffee, just being more intentional and more practicing more awareness in your day-to-day life there. And I feel too, this is a really great energy for establishing healthier emotional habits and boundaries, because, and it can really kind of teach you too about the importance of shielding your energies from negative energies or emotional overwhelm. Because I do feel like that, and you may be able to attest to this as a water sign, that we're having especially like your sun sign in a water sign. I feel that we are more in tune with our emotions than the other signs, and depending on how much maybe water that you have, that can vary things too. But I do feel that there has been this energy of this emotional immaturity, or maybe this where we've been kind of emotionally stunted. It used to be something that was so villainized, and you're not allowed to feel, you're not allowed to do this. I remember talking with someone who's they're an Aquarius, and nothing against that. They have a lot of Capricorn energy in their chart, and so very focused, very practical, very logical. A Virgo moon, and they were telling this Cancer who has a lot of Cancer that you can't, and a Pisces moon on top of that, that you can't feel, that you can't do this. And I was like, yo, you can't really do that. There is this need to understand these emotions so that we don't get to this place where we overreact and suppress this stuff. So just very King of Cups type of energy there, Scorpio. And this can be too another energy to get more productive with any sort of creative endeavors that we've been wanting to start off. Maybe we've been putting something off there, as far as like starting up a book, or maybe this is a screenplay that you've been working on, or maybe this is some music that you've been wanting to release, some crafts that you've been working on, kind of picking that stuff up and making more time to, just indulge in more creativity there, Scorpio. So, and then last energy, I know, right? I told you I had a mouthful on this one. And then you have Neptune, which is still chilling in Pisces, and she's going to be in Pisces until the 30th of March 2025, and both Saturn and Neptune will be kind of retrograding back between Aries and Pisces for a little bit. But since 2011, when Neptune started her transit through Pisces, the sign that she rules, along with Jupiter rules, is the traditional ruler. People may have been feeling a stronger connection to the divine, to the universe, or to your personal spiritual paths. This could be maybe you started doing more kind of yoga practices, or maybe working with herbs, or however you connected with source. But on a collective level, this transit can signal the rise of like global movements that really kind of emphasize this unity, compassion, this healing. And Neptune in Pisces is one that tends to romanticize and really kind of wanting to see the best in something and paint this really vivid picture. But this could lead to the potential for kind of disillusionment with existing structures or beliefs, those that aren't coming with that more compassionate, kind of all-loving Pisces touch, and where we've kind of sacrificed some of our intuitions a little bit, labeled our sensitivity as this weakness or whatever that's looking like. But this offers an opportunity for us on a deep soul, for like deep soul level healing, both individually and collectively. Even though, maybe all of these, maybe you have a lot of early Scorpio placements and this has already passed you by. Even though the energies have stopped, it doesn't mean that you can't reflect on how we've been applying that going forward and thinking about this stuff there. But this really can't allow for any sort of redemption and redemption of any sort of past wounds, and really kind of clearing any sort of karmic debts there, Scorpio. So, we're in a very interesting energy, I feel, especially with Pluto being in Aquarius, which I'll talk about next. But with all this Pisces energy, we can do a lot of societal healing as well as individual healing. But depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a trine with your sign. And trines are that, like I was talking about with that Saturn Mercury Sun conjunction. It's very fast moving energy. It removes blockages. It can help you, it makes it where the things are just flows a lot easier for you there, Scorpio. Creates these opportunities that seem out of nowhere. And especially in Pisces, it's like you're paying attention to any sort of intuitive downloads or any sort of dreams that may come up for you there, any sort of things that may seem like coincidence. Really log those in there, any kind of synchronicities. Those could be your guides reaching out to you there, Scorpio. And you're a powerful intuitive, shamanistic type of energy. Again, considering that and now you're working with your ruler in a new energy now. I'm excited to talk about that in a little bit there, Scorpio. But I like that. Let's go ahead and get to, like I was saying, Scorpio. So you got the ninth card here, which is Hermit energy, the Virgo energy, but you have the Healing Heart card here, which is a card of love, acceptance, and romance. And I feel like this energy is like we were talking about. In what ways can we heal? Maybe for some, our heart chakra. Maybe we've had stuff where we've been feeling this kind of intense emotion there, where we need to meet ourselves with this loving compassion. I'm getting like Queen of Cups type of energy. Maybe this has been maybe a tough zodiac year that's been going on since like last Aries season. Maybe this could be however we may be experiencing this. Maybe our solar return around like your birthday time. Maybe that had some tough stuff coming on. But I do feel like that there's this, with that acceptance, I feel like there's this, because when I was talking about that Hermit energy, we're in that reflection. So I feel like there's an acceptance for what has already happened, because that can't change. What can change is how you operate from that going forward. This could be, maybe we're literally welcoming in new romance. Maybe we're closing out a chapter there and allowing ourselves to feel like we can be loved again, or that we can love again, and allow ourselves to, because I feel like, that is being the fixed water sign. When something's happened, you can get locked in on a particular emotion when you feel some sort of way about something, and feel like kind of looking at maybe some areas where we have been holding on to a certain strong emotion there, and seeing how we maybe need to apply some love and some healing energy to this, Scorpio. And this maybe even be a learning to love someone and accepting for someone of where they're at, even possibly, and realizing that we can't necessarily control this other person, but we can control how we react to them and how we can feel about this energy there, Scorpio. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Alright, Scorpio. Thank you, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, so you have the Knight of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Wands here, Scorpio. And you know, that's interesting, Scorpio, because I'm getting with this Five of Swords here that there's this energy of. Could you see how these two owls are kind of flying away here? And I feel like for some, maybe we've had to close some energies out here, or maybe there was a conflict of, not a conflict of interest, but maybe there was this energy of just sort of this dissonance that may have happening. You know, maybe life has been, we're going in different directions there, and now I feel like there's this acceptance that it's like for some, it's like maybe instead of reflecting on the endings of things, I feel with the Six of Pentacles, it's reflecting on maybe not just the hurt, I feel like that came through with this. Because the Five of Swords can be a pretty tough type of energy, this detached. Maybe there was this, again, this disagreement. Maybe there wasn't a lot of love in that moment there. Maybe there wasn't this acceptance. But I feel like it's just like, what did you get from this relationship here with this, you know, or whatever the situation may be. You know, maybe this could even be where we had, or I guess more so I feel that it's like with the Nine of Pentacles being here, I feel like it's being in this energy of seeing things from this higher perspective there, kind of enjoying the lessons that did come through, where it's like we may have ended this chapter pretty tough, but it's, you know, we learned this energy of bound, or learn to respect our boundaries, or this could be where we've learned, you know, what we love in a relationship. We learned what we didn't love in a relationship. Maybe we didn't show up in some sort of way. Maybe they didn't. But I do feel sometimes with the Knight of Swords being here that he's quick to want to move on from the future, but doesn't want to take some time to reflect on the past. And so, because this is for me is Aquarius energy. And so you may be kind of operating in that energy there, Scorpio, with one of your rulers being in Aquarius, and actually Mars will be entering there here soon there. So you might be at this moment be feeling kind of a reevaluating some of our relationship in a sense. Maybe we're getting ready to, it's just like the energy is shifting in a new direction, I feel, with the Ace of Wands. And it's just like, again, accepting of the ones that we can't take with us there. And but I feel like it is to being open to also some like new groups, new perspectives, new ideas that may come to the mix there. You know, I feel like this Knight of Swords can be kind of coupled with this Six of Pentacles. There could be some people that get you on a new type of alignment there, get you on a new focus, a new journey, a new path here, something to kind of get your energies inspired and get you to this place where I feel this Nine of Pentacles is you investing in yourself a little bit differently, changing up your day-to-day routines, being a little more discerning but compassionate. I feel, because the Nine of Pentacles can be Venus, or it can be, is Venus in Virgo, which is your pre-Empress energy. But I do feel like Venus in Virgo can be one that can be a little critical of the relationships that come into our world there. And I feel like it's not letting past things as well color this blanket thing of that people can't change, because that's a strange thing for the sign of change to, I feel like, to say there, Scorpio. So, whew, all right, Scorpio, hopefully that made sense, but I think I'm going to move on from that. A lot of opportunities for compassion here, Scorpio. But let's talk about this next energy, which is Aries. And you have, luckily, we only have one planet here, Mercury, that's going to be entering into Aries on the 9th of March and will be there, hold your hat, to the 15th of May. Why so long? You guessed it. because there's going to be a Mercury retrograde that's going to be happening, but that won't be until the 1st of April. So we still have quite a bit of time there while the energies are still going forward there, Scorpio. But I actually really like that Mercury's going to be retrograding in Aries. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But with this energy, Mercury's going to enter on the 9th at about 9th of March at about 11:03 p.m. And yeah, we'll be there through the 15th. But this really kind of, it fosters a more direct and assertive approach towards communicating. This, I feel like, allows us to be more bold in our thoughts and in voicing what it is that we want to be. I feel like especially too, considering that the nodes will still, Mercury will, I'll have to see how far they're going to retrograde until they retrograde back, but they'll be eventually forming these conjunctions with the North Node and with Chiron. And so I feel like this Aries season can be one where we think about where we may have kind of sold ourselves short in a sense, and where we can be a little more bold in our actions, be a little more assertive in our drives, trust our instincts and not really doubt ourselves. Or on the flip side, this can be where we are considering where we may be overcompensating, where we may be kind of being a little more aggressive or being a little more competitive, a little more maybe forceful as far as like some certain type of ways there, Scorpio. But I do like this placement for Mercury as well, because that is a very, I feel, very inspired energy for Mercury to be in, one to pursue your passions there, to, and again, to go with that, again, that energy of confidence and bravery. But this also is a great one too for just kind of generating more kind of innovative and pioneering ideas, considering that Aries is the initiators of the zodiac. And also there may be a challenge though, considering that Aries is a very fast moving type of energy that when it comes to detailed or prolonged mental tasks, they're the type that's just like, let's just act first and we'll think about the consequences later. So just something to be mindful of there, Scorpio. And I do feel like, again, with this retrograde, even though retrogrades can be seen as a little scary, they're just a time for us to reflect, because Mercury moves so fast. That this gives us a chance to just kind of catch up and process all the things that have been coming our way, these kind of deeper thoughts, and then kind of get those things to action there. But let's get an oracle on this. And, already? Oh, interesting. I think Cancer got this card too. All right, Scorpio. So you have the Angels of the Seven Chakras here, which is a card of power, truth, and connection. And, just how we were talking about with this, because Aries is associated with the first house, which deals with self, how you make your first impressions, how you show up in the world. And I feel like this is finding any blockages to that power, to the truth of who you are, and noticing where the connections may be severed or may have been disconnected, or just like, or maybe even, I feel like I'm picturing just like a bunch of like outlets, or a bunch of like cords kind of crossed all over the place, like one of those boards for like the phone calls or things. And it's like tuning into just like doing like a real sort of body scan, this healing heart. Maybe just like, it's like checking what needing some love. Do we feel some damage in our security? How's our energy flow going there? How is all these energies lining up? Are we feeling disconnected spiritually? And I feel like it's really kind of, it's these blockages that may come up here. I feel like it's even giving them, if we're having troubles dealing with them, it's like giving them this form in a sense. It's like, that's interesting. It's coming up a little differently than how it kind of came up for Cancer. This is more so, I feel like, almost looking at these things as like these separate entities in a sense. Give them these identities, whatever this healing stuff that may come up with. And I feel like that can maybe kind of help differentiate and kind of find the truth, because maybe the connections again are feeling there's a lot of crossed wires, or maybe something along those lines there, Scorpio. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Scorpio. Thank you, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Alright, so you have the Four of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Taurus energy, and then the Strength card here, Leo energy. You know, with this Hierophant there, Scorpio, I feel this is you. I feel like you see these keys on this rock here. I feel like this is you. There's this like we're because the Hierophant can be this card of this initiation to this higher calling, into a sense, to connecting with your guides. And I feel there's this, as you do this healing work there about finding these blockages, this could be the key to some profound growth here, about unlocking some inner strengths there, Scorpio, with this Leo card here, the Strength card. And I feel that for some, there may be this resistance at first. You know, maybe we feel that we've put in enough work into something. We're considered ourselves healed in a sense. But Scorpio, there's always areas that we can grow in. That's the point of this journey. You know, if we've accomplished all that we've had here, then I feel like it can get to this place where how can we take that energy and apply that abundance to others? How do we spread this sort of this wealth of healing, I feel like, to the collective there? Because now you're in this place of, again, with Pluto being there, Mars getting ready to enter there, and again, we're going to talk about this next. You can take all of these experiences that have happened to you and help others kind of dislodge these swords from their hearts and allow them to do this healing as well. But I do even feel that in your own personal healing there, Scorpio, that it is always remembering that there is an abundance of experience that comes through this. This strengthens your foundation with the King of Pentacles here, because the Pentacles can represent your wealth, your manifestation, your health, your material goods. And I feel like but there's even something here too, Scorpio. I feel like it's in this growth and doing this healing, it's not losing that curious energy, that where if something feels like there's, or like being open to that you can evolve in a sense. Like I'm not, it's very interesting, like with this Page of Wands, kind of Seven of Pentacles are kind of tying together. It's interesting because I feel like it's just like the more that you invest in yourself, and I feel like I feel like there could even be too, the Hierophant can be this teacher. This could be either you seeking someone to kind of help with these blockages, or this is you going from this student Page of Wands to teacher energy here. And I'm even getting like an appreciation with the experience of this growth in a sense, you know, because the Seven of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus. And it can feel like sometimes where the energies are like these difficult times could be restricting our abundance. It really is teaching us to value ourselves and to really kind of, I just feel like it's just like this is increasing your self-worth in a sense. You know, this Four of Cups, I'm just kind of picturing you like Scorpio, like I'm done with the growth. I'm done putting in this work. I'm tired, and there is a time I feel like to rest there, Scorpio. But as intuitively as things make sense, it's not saying that we tackle everything at once, but I do feel like there's something that if it's been on the back of your mind, it may be time to approach that energy. I just had something where, you know, I have Pluto in the 4th house, and you know, there's been some interesting stuff that's gone on at home, but I had gotten an intuitive nudge that I just needed to take an initiative, and now I'm in this place where I'm just waiting, and we'll see what that means. So, all right, that's what I got for you, Scorpio. All right, but let's talk about Aquarius, because this one's kind of an exciting one, because you have both of your rulers, Mars, that's going to be entering there, which on an auspicious time. And well, let's talk about Mars first, because Mars is going to be entering there on the 22nd of February, so they like that 222, and will be there through, and that's going to be entering at about 1:05 a.m. there, Scorpio, and will be there through the 22nd of March. And with this energy, Scorpio, this transit really encourages a more kind of assertive approach to unconventional ideas and innovative methods. You know, this is you taking action not based off what other people think, but for, you know, this Five of Swords energy, for what you believe in, you know, and how your individuality affects the collective. You know, I feel like maybe for some, because Scorpio energy can be a secretive one, and maybe we've been keeping certain aspects of ourselves hidden in a sense, and maybe we haven't been showing up maybe authentically. And it's not that we're not exercising healthy boundaries, Scorpio, but I do feel that this energy could potentially be, if this energy is challenging you to maybe step out of a comfort zone in a sense. You know, maybe there's this energy between like how it's just, I feel like it's more kind of, again, kind of just calling for you to kind of be yourself and not maybe shrink yourself inside the group. But also this may be a period too where you may feel a little rebellious against the traditional ways of doing things and kind of challenging the status quo. Because, yeah, this Mars in Aquarius energy can be a little rebellious. And I feel like anything that we've been kind of keeping suppressed there, Scorpio, I feel like has the potential to kind of be challenged in a sense. But there may be a bit more, you may feel a bit more aggressive in your approach to kind of intellectual debates and expressing your ideas. And you may even feel too, Scorpio, that because people may be more likely to take action to make a difference in their communities or the world as well there. So this could be too, is like how you show up in the world, Scorpio. And I feel like that's going to be especially the energy for you with Pluto on a more kind of subconscious level, just kind of thinking about the ways that we either have been going along with the group or how we've been maybe ostracized ourselves in a sense. You know, I feel like a lot of questions of just maybe you've been staying in this hidden type of state, but it's now time to get out in this networking energy there, Scorpio. But that's just one thing. But let me get to Pluto, and then we'll talk about how these aspects are forming, because Pluto, because I feel this is going to be an interesting time for, or potentially tenser energy for Scorpio placements, because you have Pluto, and this is going to be especially for those of you who were born between, I want to say 84 and 95. So I'm in that category as well, you know, that Pluto and Scorpio generation. Because Pluto's going to be transiting through Aquarius for the next 20 years. Granted, he's going to retrograde one more time back into Capricorn around, I want to say September is when that's going to be happening. I have to double check on that. But this, you know, Pluto Aquarius is going to be it's been a big deal, as I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about. And you know, this is likely to bring about significant kind of societal and political reforms there. You know, the last time Pluto was in this energy, there was, you know, a lot of rebellions that were kind of going on, or at least kind of coming to a close there. But this was also a very innovative time as well. This is a time to band together, I feel like, collectively, and to keep those kind of crazy ideas that we've been keeping to ourselves and investing in that and seeing where that goes. But it also marks a period where just like structures that no longer serve the collective good are going to be dismantled, or to make a way new ways for living and governing. But of course, that's not just going to be where all of the things that are trying to hold up that structure are just going to get out of the way. This is going to be ones where we need to show up, Scorpio. And so this again is going to ask a lot of yourself. We're going to go from this. I feel like Scorpio energy really is great at observing, but it's just like, what have you taken now that you've taken this time to observe where the world's at and things? What do we want to do about it? But also too, this could herald very profound changes in how we interact with technology. I'll tell you what, technology and I have been just like besties here lately. It's kind of fantastic. But too, this could bring about potentially groundbreaking technological advancements and a deeper understanding of its impact on society there, Scorpio. And I wouldn't be surprised, even like the next 5-10 years, just some really wild stuff just kind of taking off there. And just take this as it resonates. But Scorpio deals with astrology, or Scorpio, Aquarius deals with this kind of astrology and just sort of like outer space and things. So however that may be looking like there, Scorpio. And depending on where your Scorpio placements are at, this is forming, like I was saying, squares with your sign. And I feel intuitively with this, especially for the Pluto in Scorpio, because we're getting ready to go through a Pluto square, and this happens for every generation, depending on how you make, how long you get on this journey. But this is going to be, I feel, a challenge of, of course it's going to depend. You have to see what house this is taking place for you as well. But I feel there are going to be these challenges between, kind of getting ourselves out there in a sense, doing more for our community. We've been taking this time to experience this journey on a deeper level here. For Pluto to be born, or for us to have been born with Pluto in its home sign, that really is meaning something, because Pluto's very powerful there. So I do feel that there are these sort of like powerful experiences in taking what you've learned on your journey and applying this to the collective, taking your unique experience and raising the vibration. So, and there may be some challenges in meeting that. You may be feeling again this tension as far as like noticing that just something I feel like to just kind of pay attention to. And I feel like with this Mars, and that's more so with Pluto, but with Mars, I feel like coupling, kind of driving that, there may be, especially when Mars kind of has that conversation with Pluto in Aquarius, they haven't communicated in that language again since the end of the 1700s. So now it's trying to figure out where are we going forward here and how that channels your energy. And that's going to be the conversation that's going to be happening between Mars and Pluto over these next 20 years. So very interesting changes there, Scorpio. But let's go ahead and get your oracle card here. All right, Scorpio. Oh, interesting. So you have the Animal Totems card here. And this is a card of animal energy and powers. And Scorpio, I do feel for some, because again, your energy does connect with things on a very deep and just intuitive level. And I do feel that this energy is have you been noticing these connections with animals? It's like getting more in touch with this natural side of you, Scorpio. Meeting these, because I remember talking with the Scorpio not too long ago about a spiritual experience that they had with saying that someone that had passed had came to them in this, and fascinatingly enough, now that I'm thinking about it, she took a picture of it and it came through in this form of a peacock. And how she made the connection, that, the story is escaping me, but and she went to go look again and that peacock was gone. But the way she was just saying, like, she needed a present for her daughter's birthday gift, and then just things just happened to arrive there, and this peacock made her think about this friend, and it was a lot of just like synchronicities lining up. And so I feel like it's looking at your experience, Scorpio, and through this journey, and just being just more awareness that's going on. Are you getting messages from these guides? And maybe even, because I remember talking with someone else, they're a Capricorn, but they have like a huge stacks of Scorpio, like I want to say at least 4 stacks. And they were talking about some spirit animals that they connect with. And again, Scorpio energy is very spiritual, very very shamanistic, and I feel like there is this evolution to how you connect intuitively there, Scorpio. So pay attention to any sort of like animals that speak to you. Maybe there's been a need to invest in maybe some jaguar, maybe some stag, or maybe these owls or fox totems, and maybe building an altar possibly. Or let me get some tarot on this, Scorpio, because I feel like there's Scorpio energy is very fascinating with how deep I feel you can tap into your intuition. Alright, Scorpio. Thank you, guys. Ooh, love that. There's your ruler Mars popping up during this. Ooh, I like this, Scorpio. So you have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the 3 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, and then the Tower, Mars energy. Let's talk about this Tower. Because I feel that this may be, for some, these gifts is what I feel like is kind of unlocking in here, Scorpio, that this may be a kind of shocking revelation for you here, as far as like how you connect with the energies. And I feel that maybe even since possibly how when Mercury passed through, I feel like I've made that conjunction with Mars, because again, these planets are speaking with Pluto in a different type of way. And I feel like there's just been some new thoughts that may have been kind of purging in, or just been wanting to get your attention there, Scorpio. So maybe some new ideas as far as like what you want to manifest, maybe some new directions and things that are opportunities that are opening up for you. But it's like for some, I feel like that there's been either this resistance, or that there's been this, maybe for some reason, maybe that may be where the healing is. Maybe we've been shamed away from these gifts, or chalked it up to whatever it is. But we are, Scorpio, these, spiritual beings going through this human experience, but no less divine. And I feel like this is almost like this, for some, there may be some, I'm getting like maybe some third eye or some crown chakra blockages, even some throat chakra, maybe not being able to communicate with our guides, like some sort of connections there. Just, I feel this Nine of Wands, and with all this healing energy here, it's like just reconnecting with those sort of like, because even the pages can be this, and you got 3 pages here as well. There's this childlike energy that's coming through there. How did you, maybe it's getting out of nature. Maybe you used to go on adventures a lot with these spirit guides and things, and just like kind of connecting with that, with these just like innate powers, this wild magic that's been kind of that's just locked up in you, Scorpio. So, alright, Scorpio. I feel like I'm going to leave that there. Again, but you're in a very intuitive energy. So, in the Hierophant, divine counterpart to the High Priestess, the Moon. A very interesting energy for you here, Scorpio. Cancer's over there becoming fortune tellers, so they're creating their future. So look at you. But I let's get to Taurus energy, because you have Jupiter that's in Taurus, Big Papa, and then you have Uranus that's in Taurus. And this has maybe been another tougher one there for you, Scorpio. Because let's start with Big Papa. Jupiter's going to be in Taurus until the 16th of March, or excuse me, to the 25th of May 20 of this year. And with this energy, Scorpio, this I feel like with it being so close to this transition, I feel like it's how has I feel like investments and savings, where have you seen this sort of like favorable expansion, or where have you seen this growth? What things have we been ways have we been investing in ourselves? Whether this is learning about maybe how to manage our finances differently, or maybe we've been taking on a course of study, learning some new school. Maybe we've been getting in touch with ourselves spiritually. Maybe we've been healing our relationships. How have we been investing there? And I feel that, because sometimes I feel like in this growth with where things have been, we can forget the ways that we have grown and that we have learned, and just kind of focused on feeling beat up all the time. I feel with this nine of wands being here. And this learning to be patient with the process, because Jupiter usually just kind of gives in this abundance, and I feel like that it's learning to be patient with the growth process, that this encourages long-term investments and efforts. Taurus takes their time when they're doing things. They're building, they're intentional, they want this, it's but I feel too that this is remembering too that success comes from that persistence and kind of steady approach, that you don't need to undertake all of these things in a day. I feel like we want to kind of rush the process along. And again, I feel like there is this emphasis of enjoying the process. And two, I like this as well. Like there's a return to finding joy in the simplicity of life and just the everyday pleasures that life has to bring. Even just thinking about nature, which one aspect of that Taurus rules. Looking at the flowers that are around you, or how the trees are the buds are starting to, where I'm at, I'm noticing that these buds are starting to come into bloom, or the animals starting to potentially wake up, or whatever this is looking like there, Scorpio, the sunrise each day, or maybe even just the sky above, just really kind of broadening this energy there, Scorpio, being again very aware and intentional throughout your day. But then you also have Uranus that's in Taurus, and Uranus has been there since like 2018 of March, of May. And he'll be there through the 7th of July, 2025. Granted, he'll retrograde back into Taurus. So I want to say shortly after he enters. But with Uranus being in Taurus, this has been a very, it's potentially kind of an uncomfortable placement for Uranus to be. Because Taurus is about that, our self-worth and our security, and even again how we feel, because Taurus is very associated with their senses they're very sensual signs, so their senses are heightened in a sense. And this really has been kind of challenging our societal values, particularly those related to materialism, consumption, and what is considered valuable. Because I feel in a lower expression, Taurus is one that just wants to, it can be a hedonistic sign, one that wants to just take and take and take and just overindulge in these sensual pleasures, just the dopamine hits, the quick fixes, as opposed to, and it's just like, okay, that may be great short term, but how is that really sustainable in this duration of your journey? And Uranus has been challenging this, where we may have given up our freedom in a sense, where we've needed to get that sense of autonomy through changing up how we, asking these deep questions of ourselves. Is what I value now what I valued maybe back in 2018 or even 2019 or even last year, and acknowledging that change as well, getting used to that fluctuation, knowing that we're not just these sort of, even when you think about astrology, sure, there's this blueprint, but that's not how you can express that. Can be in many different ways, and it can evolve over time there. It's this saying that nothing is stagnant. You'll always have this foundation, but what we put on top of it may need to change and evolve with the times there. So, and now that we're getting where, we're in this Pluto and Aquarius energy, they're all working together, Pluto and Uranus. So yeah, this is a time to find stability in inflexibility, in flexibility, and to embrace a new definition of what it feels to be secure and comfortable. And this can too, Scorpio, coincide with sudden environmental changes, natural disasters, or even groundbreaking discoveries related to the planet. So this can be a time too, again, questioning how you're showing up when you're at home. And this is our earthly home. How we may be, how our carbon footprint may be affecting. Are we just taking, or are we giving back to our this home while we're on this journey there, Scorpion? What we're passing along to the next generation, But depending on where your Scorpio placements are at, this is forming, or this has been forming, oppositions with your signs. And I feel that where the struggle has been, because oppositions can be this kind of tug of war that's going on there, where it could be this challenge of where we used to find comfort, and really kind of questioning that on a deeper level, and like asking ourselves, do we truly feel the same about these things? And seeing where this is happening at in your houses can help as well. Like, this is taking place in my 10th house, which can be where how am I finding stability in my careers? Where can I learn to grow, to broaden in my career path, in a sense, with Jupiter? And how can I free myself up in my careers with Uranus being there? How am I going about this differently? Is this starting another business? Is this going into accepting a higher level of positions there where I have more control? These kind of questions are what, if 10th house, for example. But it's just like, yeah, how do you bring this, I feel like this, what you've built, and this transformative energy of you, and how does that change things, and how that, I feel like, reestablishes your relationship to this stuff, and how things evolve in, our possessions and things there, Scorpio. But let me get your last oracle on this. Thank you, guys. Interesting. And I told you were a shaman, Scorpio, because you have, and I like this, you have the 17th card, which is Aquarius energy, which is what you're in right now and be in for the next 20 years. But you have the shamanic healer card here, which is a card of cleansing and attunement. And that's basically what we're kind of talking about here with this, where the energies are at in this opposition. For these next few months with Jupiter, and even going forward, but especially with this energy in Uranus, I feel like there is this cleansing that's going on. The things that we may have held, maybe these deep attachments to, maybe things are changing there with the Tower. Maybe we're realizing that it's no longer holding, it's doing the thing that it used to do. It served its purpose for a spell, and it's just like, do we really want to bring this along, or is this still keeping, or do we still have a blockage with that? And it's meeting this stuff at that deeper level, so that again we can start allowing this growth to happen. Because the star card energy that's coming through here, the 17th card, is a card of healing. And this is a card of unexpected help. Maybe we might be coming across the Hierophant, the shamanic healer. Maybe we need to do, maybe this is looking into maybe either maybe like an Akashic reading, or maybe scheduling a reading with an astrologer, or maybe even with with a psychotherapist, or whatever that's looking like there for you, Scorpio. But I do feel like this is a great energy for you to just some real solid energetic healing, connecting back with your guides, connecting with this really beautiful type of type of experiences there, Scorpio. Really could be a cathartic energy for you here. But let me get your last tarot cards here so I can get you out of here. Alright, Scorpio. Thank you guys. Last little bit here. Alright, so you have the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Fool card, and the Empress here. And then let's switch back over. That's a good girl. And where do you want to start? So with the Eight of Cups here, you know, this is a card of, see, this bird is flying away from these energies that it used to hold a lot of feelings for, but now these cups are empty, and it's no longer, I feel like, providing that same sort of, I feel like there's this sort of like satisfaction that it used to, you know, there's this, it's not bringing that zest, that adding that lust for life there, you know, that quest for abundance, I feel like is what's kind of coming through there. And now there's this energy of needing to, again, kind of clearing this stuff out so that we can embark on this new chapter here, I feel, with the Fool being here, Scorpio. And I even feel that, because you are in a new chapter with your ruler Pluto being in this, because Pluto doesn't move that often, Scorpio. And this is really affecting, you know, this, I feel like those of you who have, you know, who are Scorpios, who have that Pluto, like sun sign and Scorpios, and any Scorpio placements that are tied to that Pluto and Scorpio energy. This is a new time to kind of ask yourself some newer energies there, you know, it really feel like this is like an out with the old, in with the new, and that makes perfect lineup with how we come from that older type of traditional foundation of Saturn energy to this new, fresh, innovative Aquarius energy. And I feel like this Empress is you doing a lot of, while you're doing through this healing, this attunement to these newer frequencies is what I'm really kind of feeling. It's making sure, again, to self-care in this. When your body, when you're feeling that burnout, that energetic drain, take some time to recharge your batteries, maybe through creative expression. Maybe this is through whatever that's looking like, but you know, the Queen of Wands and this Full energy, you know, we may be leaving something tough there with the Eight of Cups, but I feel this is very uplifting, bright energy that's coming through here. So, all right, Scorpio. I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm really excited for you, but if any of that resonated with you, Scorpio, if you like that, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing, Scorpio, if you know someone who's been needing to do some healing, or maybe just feeling this just like there's something unlocking in them and not sure what that means, or yes, some sort of growth is going on here, Scorpio. And then subscribe there, you tower. Hit that bell button to get notified on these videos each week. And then, yeah, just a reminder there, Scorpio, if you're, you know, having questions about these energies, you know, again, maybe you're thinking about working with, because astrology doesn't define you, you know, but it does ask you the questions about how have I been working with these energies? What are some things available to me? You know, when I became more aware of all the Leo energy that I'm working with, it's just like, okay, how can I bring a little more of that? Oh, how do I get eyes on this? You know, and it's just like asking yourself these questions so that you can become the one that creates your future there, Scorpio. So yeah, if you want to check that stuff out, I have links in the description box for you, or you can check the links in my bio on Instagram. And last little bit, Scorpio, if you have any Cancer year placements, which is something you can find out with me as well, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Come on over to the chair reading, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and I do tarot card spreads based on what sign she's in, what phase she's in. It's a great old time there, Scorpio. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Ooh, so I can get you out of here, Scorpio. And got the Magician here. And the energy that I was feeling, because this is Mercury, and Mercury, or Uranus, is the higher octave of Mercury. And if there's something here I feel, especially with Mercury entering Pisces, that can be a month for you to really kind of breach that energy through that veil there, Scorpio. Again, meet yourself on a very intuitive level and see what you intuit what you want to create. See where the foundations have been kind of rocky there and what new growth we're going to take, because the card comes through and destroys things in order for the Empress. I like these two are the divine counterparts for Mars and Venus, and they're actually getting ready to go through a conjunction here soon. I want to say it'll happen in Aquarius. I think it is happening in Aquarius, but I do feel like this is just like you tuning into new frequencies, getting into these new types of tools here and getting into a deeper state of manifestation here. And it's like, yeah, just learning stuff on a very deeper level here, Scorpio. I'm with it. Now let me get your other oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Scorpio. And getting with this energy, Scorpio, just with the Magician, Mercury is what we deal with on a daily basis. Mercury rules the 6th and the 3rd house. 6th house deals with our daily routines, our habits, could be our day-to-day jobs, our health, things that we deal with all the time. And then our immediate environment, how we communicate, how we've learned from this, So I feel like it's just like paying attention to how you're interacting in your environment. There's this deeper sense of presence that's happening there. You showing up in a very different way, I like this, Scorpio. Thank you, guys. So you have the 12th card here, and I think you got this. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. But you have the Wise Man, or the Wise Action card here, which is the 12th card is Neptune energy, which is the Hanged Man. And I feel like this is kind of asking, have the actions that you've been taking up until this point, have they been the wisest ones there, Scorpio? Have the things we've been manifesting, have they been from this wise place? And if things haven't been resonating with you, seeing where we need to, because the Hanged Man can be this energy of pause, and this could indicate where we may have been feeling stuck. And through taking more kind of thoughtful actions, pursuing your individual truth, maybe doing things that aren't what the collective wants you to do. It's not. The way that I'm getting this is like not being what the collective thinks you should be, but being who the collective needs you to be, which is yourself there, Scorpio. Making more initiations that attune to you. Do this cleansing there. Do this loving energies. Talk with your guides. And again, this is not you doing this stuff. This is all a choice. You're not surrendering your free will. It's this, you don't have to do any of this stuff. You can keep going down your path. I'm going to be kicking with you along the way. It's a judgment-free zone, always. But, it's just like when we're wanting to produce more, what does that look like? And these are the questions that I feel like, or some of the questions that I feel like we ask ourselves on this journey there, Scorpio. So I think I'm going to leave that there. Very deep energy, I feel, with Pisces going on here. But you stay safe out there, Scorpio, with all these changes that are happening. Be mindful of your decisions. Treat yourself with compassion, with love. Connect with your guides. Do some cleansing energies. Maybe take some sage through your space. Do some crystal work. Raise your vibration through the roof. Because I do feel like there is this trial there that's happening here, Scorpio, with this. You have this magician, this hierophant, this initiation that's happening for you. Shamanic healer. I'm with it. And I will catch you, Scorpio, on the next one. Later.